Hello and welcome to Three Questions with. Got my friend Christine McCarron with us from the Beehive. Good morning, Christine. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me, Kevin.
So let's just jump right in. Tell us a little bit about the Beehive co-working space.
This is the perfect time of year to ask that question, Kevin, because the kids are going to be home from school, right? And kids think, oh, everybody's home. We're all on vacation. And you're trying to work and you're pulling your hair out. And your kids are like, come on, let's go to the beach. Let's go have fun. So if you want to, for people to like get away from home and have actually some focus, maybe talk to some other grownups, maybe not, maybe just shut the door and not talk to anybody, then a co-working space is the place to go. It's like home, only better.
Well, it's interesting because I was reading an assignment for one of my students today, and that's what she was talking about. Both her and her husband work from home, and now they're trying to figure out that balance. It's like, okay, like we're in the middle of this video interview right now. If you had children like, Mom, what's for lunch? In the middle of it, you're like, thanks, we're starting over and stuff. So we look at it like, oh, it'd be great. But then when it actually happens and you realize, like you said, Mom, can we go out for ice cream? Mom, can we go to the beach? When you're trying to work, it may not be as great as you think, right?
Yeah. But also what you just said is perfect because balance, even if you don't have kids, right? You work from home, you're always at work. And you're always at home. So when you're supposed to be working, you're doing laundry. And when you're supposed to be, it's 9 o'clock at night, you should be shutting down and doing something else. Instead, you're like, oh, I just remembered I could send that other email. So it's nice to have the place where you go. This is where I go to work. And then when I'm done, I go home and I'm 100% home. It's more healthy, much more healthy.
I agree with that because I find a lot of people think it's amazing to get to work from home, no commute and all this until they get it. And then, like you said, you're like, oh, I was supposed to email Chris back. Just jump up and do it now. Where, if you were at work, you wouldn't drive to work to send an email at 9 o'clock.
Exactly.
But at home, you do that. So again, the work-life balance and stuff,
Definitely.
but sometimes people forget about getting to be around others because working from home for most of us is amazing, but damn, it's lonely. Just sometimes I just want to, hey, Chris, did you watch that movie? Did you get to see that show? Just have that, couple minutes of talking to another adult about even some things that aren't work related or just, hey, can we talk about something? I'm having this challenge and I know that you're in a similar business. You may have seen this. Do you have a couple minutes to give me some advice on this?
And that's a perfect, we actually have some remote teams here. So there's some people who come every week. They work for a company, like one group I'm thinking of, they work for a company in Atlanta and there happen to be 4 of them who are in the area. So once a week, they just come here together. Like you're not going to call up a coworker and say, hey, did you watch this movie? But, they get to have that nice togetherness. And then the same thing, even if you don't know that person or you didn't know that person, you get to know them. And now you've got like a work community, even though you might all work for different companies. You need that. You need that for your mental health, I think.
So where exactly is the co-working space located? We should probably cover that too. Chuckle.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So it's in Tingsboro, Mass, which like when I first heard like Tingsboro, where is that? Like the moon? I hadn't heard of it before, but it's like 6 miles from downtown Lowell. It's 4 miles from Nashua. So it's actually really well located right in that greater Lowell, Merrimack Valley area.
I was thinking the same thing when you told me about that, because if you live in Nashua, it's a short ride to believe it. So really is. It's a short ride to Tingsboro and stuff, so like you said, just to have that additional space. Now, how does renting space work? Do I get my own private space? Do I share, am I sitting at tables with other people? How does it all work?
You can. The answer is, how do you want it to work? Because you can rent basically what we call a hut seat. You're basically renting. I mean, you get your own desk, but you're in a chair, and that's, you don't get to leave stuff there. You can't like lock your laptop up at night and go home, but it's your desk all day long. And you have access to the coffee and the snacks and all that kind of good stuff that kind of goes along with being here. We often are making, since I joined the gym, people often come in and I'm making breakfast. So we're just all having a big frittata or something, which is an extra bonus. But then you can also rent a dedicated desk, which is always your desk, but you're in an office with a couple other people.
Yeah.
Or then you can rent the whole office if you have got a small team, or if you just
Oh.
like, have lots of files and you want to be alone or whatever. So it's kind of a different, and then of course there's after hours events, right? You can say, oh, I'm just having a big birthday party and I don't want everybody in my house. So you just rent the Beehive for that. So
It's nice.
but pretty flexible.
Can we talk a little bit about the cost to have one of those hot desks?
Sure. Well, actually, right now, until the end of the month, we're offering a free week. So the cost is zero. But normally, there are a couple different models. So if you just want to come once, you're a traveling person and you just need to drop in, it's like it's $30 a day. But then it's $250 for a 10-pack, which you can use at any point. They don't expire. Or you can say, I want to be there all the time. Monthly membership is $300.
Yeah. Which is super affordable when you look at it. Like you said, if you tried to go out and rent an office, you'd really struggle to try to find something that affordable. But I like what you said, because sometimes you just have that day when I just need to get out of the house. I need concentration. There's too much distractions here. So I need that. I just need to go in and work someplace different, maybe put my headphones on and just concentrate and stuff. And you have that package for and stuff. Let's talk a little bit about your networking events, because you host networking events there too.
We do, yeah. And they're a blast. They're a lot of fun. Last month actually was the first official one that we had, like that we were going to have on a regular basis.
Yep.
And right before the networking event, we had like 25 people. We had 34 people signed up. And 5 o'clock till 6 o'clock was networking. 5 o'clock, the skies opened up. It was this complete deluge. And I thought, oh my God. And I had just made a ton of food because I don't know, I'm not Italian, but I just make food all the time when I know people are coming over. So I had all this food and I was like, oh, it looks like I'm going to be having a lot of snacks for the next 10 years. But still a ton of people came. Like if this was me, I never would have come. I would have looked out the window. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not going tonight. But we had like 28 people ended up coming. It was fantastic.
Yep.
Yeah. So we had like 15 minutes of snacking and then we all, did our quick 5 minutes a person. And then we had some more snacking at the end. So it was great.
So how often do you do these?
We do them on a monthly basis. And at the moment, I'm experimenting with days of the week. So the first one was Wednesday. The first one was second Wednesday. This is going to be the second Tuesday. And then we're going to have the second Thursday next month. And which is, for a little bit, I'm going to go between Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and just see what people like. But
makes sense. Yeah, because there's no set day that works. It's a guy used to run in-person events. There's no day that works for everybody. It just seems impossible. When is the next one?
The next one is coming up on Tuesday, the 20th.
June 20th, next Tuesday.
Yeah. So actually it's the third week, I guess. I have trouble with math today, but so it's the third.
Yeah, that would make the third Tuesday. Yes. What time?
But it's on Eventbrite. You can just search for it.
Yeah. But what time does it start?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock and stuff.
Yeah.
And what's the physical address of the place?
It's 2 Bridgeview Circle in Tingsboro.
Yeah. So, Chris, I appreciate you taking a couple of minutes to come on the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you, Kevin. Have a great week.